ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma.
this a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. How had you in here? I am he, and we're back for another week of talk and crazy stuff. Hope everybody's doing well out there on this beautiful Juneteenth day. We are streaming live and direct on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook Live, as well as YouTube. Please, did I say please? Help us on our drive to 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We need a lot of help on that, y'all. So please, if you can, go to YouTube, look up N-Power TV, which is the letter N, the word power, space TV, and please subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell. It'll also let you know when we add new content or when we do go live, so that you can even watch it from that way. Also, please help us out by giving us likes, thumbs ups, those kind of things, because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. And also newly, when you are on the go and can't catch the show live, and you may even be catching it now on replay, and we do appreciate that, we are now also on Spotify as well. So the last couple of episodes are there. Unfortunately, I have no desire to put 4 years worth of episodes on Spotify. So trust me, the episodes that you need here on Spotify are the ones that are there right now. And going forward, we will make sure after the show that the most recent episode is on Spotify. Thank you to those, though. I already see folks that are tuning into Spotify to listen. If you are one of those, we do appreciate that. We do the show live every Thursday at 7 p.m. on all of those previously mentioned outlets. But if you're listening, then it's most likely that you travel a lot and you like to be able to keep your eyes on the road, but hear some interesting takes on things, and we are definitely here to do that. Before we get started, let's say hello to Lori. How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
All right, there we go. Don't see CJ or franchise, so they may be celebrating Juneteenth. But if they do pop in, we will definitely add them in. Regardless, we're going to get the show going. And we do want to make an announcement. Number one, Head to Head Sports Season 5, which is an NFL season that myself and my co-host Randall Hargrove normally do. Will be starting up again on Wednesday, August the 13th. So right around the corner, less than 2 months away, we will start breaking down it'll be the preseason of the National Football League, but it's really good for us to be able to kind of do that. Those 4 weeks prior to the season lead right up into things, and we normally cover different divisions and conferences leading up to the season. We talk about training camp. We talk about the draft. We talk about the outlook of teams. Lots of players move during the offseason. Coaches change during the offseason. That type of thing. The Cowboys still suck during the offseason. So all those kind of things we'll definitely get into. So lock it in, 7 p.m. on Wednesday. We'll have Head to Head Sports. Around that time, that'll kick off season 5 of Head to Head with Brian Parker on Thursdays. So again, season 5 for both of those, as we've been pounding on since 2020 and going on strong, I would say. With that said, if you are a content provider and you would like a platform to be able to put your stuff on outside of YouTube, please reach out to me at theparkermedia@gmail.com. We would love to collaborate with other content providers if you want to be able to use our platforming for live streams, things like that, be able to put it on the Roku channel. We are definitely interested in doing that. So please reach out. I bring up the example all the time that, I do the sports show. However, there are plenty of other sports out there that people have an interest in, whether it's soccer, football, college, uh, the National Basketball Association, college basketball, women's basketball, all types of things, not limited at all. I'm limited in my own bandwidth, but definitely would love to grow the channel with you. If you would like to put your show, whether it's a talk show, sports show, that type of thing, if you want to be able to bring it to a bigger audience, please reach out to me at theparkermedia@gmail.com. Also, if you have a business, whether it's a side business, your main business, or not, and you want to be able to promote it, if you host events, if there's an event going on that you want people to know about, and you would love to advertise that a little bit more, please again reach out to us at theparkermedia@gmail.com for commercial information or reads throughout live shows and on other platforms. We would be more than willing to talk to you and be able to help you any way that we possibly can. And as an example of one of our better commercials, I present to you Sawyer Kid Lawyer and Jermaine Parker Realty. Laura, you can play that in any order that you want to, and then we'll get started with the show right after this. Introducing Sawyer Kid Lawyer, Teacher versus Nap Time, a great book that will help your little one with reading, writing, and spelling. Coming from the authors Shanine and Sheldon Moultrie. Please check this book out and support. Thank you so much. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help you navigate through that process. We know that a home is more than just a place to live. It creates memories. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help. Give us a call and let us get started on your journey. All right, just like that. So you too can have a commercial. Also, would love to give a shout out to my homie, Mr. Mees Ford, Mees Nuts, tuning in on Facebook. I see you, bro. Also, Cammy Sifford. Hey, Cammy, what's going on? Hope all is well on this beautiful Juneteenth. So thank y'all for tuning in and dropping the thumbs up. We really do appreciate that. All right. Well, Lori, it is Juneteenth. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lori.
Just also wanted to give a shout out to the Happy Treats Ice Cream Shop, which is located in Pawleys Island, South Carolina. They had their grand opening on June 17th. I know the date is said, but they are now officially open. So please, if you are in the area, please make sure to go get some ice cream, some great treats. It's a great new store, and they have their grand opening on the 17th. So go get some ice cream because we're going to have such hot weather coming soon.
There you go. That's right. Yeah, a lot of times with businesses, sometimes your target dates do tend to move and things like that. Sometimes it's just getting that last inspector to just, hey man, just go ahead and sign this. Damn, come on, man. Or getting these last little things, and sometimes they move and they push. I'm in the hotel business, and hotels do not open up on the days that we expect them to. Even though we have to go with that date, 9 times out of 10, if it opens on that date, it is absolutely amazing. Especially if it's their original opening date, like, okay, it's moved 3 times and now it's going to open. Okay, you kind of know that. But a lot of times you're waiting on somebody else to really finally get you across that finish line that is out of your hands. I mean, you got to, and we've got a hotel now that I'm waiting on that was supposed to open last week, and it's indefinite right now. So it's kind of in a holding pattern. It's like if you ever been on a flight and you're supposed to land and the plane keeps circling around, and you're just kind of in that holding pattern. A lot of times the opening dates are like that too. So, but glad to see that they did open up 2 days ago, right into the thick of the summer season, right in there, right at that Litchfield beach resort, right outside of Myrtle Beach and Polly's Island, like Lori stated. So yeah, give them a shout out. Let them know that you heard about it from Head to Head with Brian Parker too. Okay. Um, Now I don't know if they're gonna give you a discount for that, but let them know, because at least that way, they will know that word of mouth does work. So we do appreciate that. All right. Well, Lori, again, happy Juneteenth.
Yes, did you happy Emancipation Day?
Yeah, I feel somewhat freer today. Just kidding. I actually don't.
I well, I chose to celebrate in Juneteenth, um, just doing the things that I needed to do. Took a breath and realized the magnitude of where we are and where our country is right now. And even though it could be a lot better, I'm grateful and thankful that I am here to celebrate Juneteenth.
And I appreciate that perspective because part of me really wonders to the audience, really. So whether you are on Spotify, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you're on Instagram, um, or Facebook Live, I really, really want to know your expectations of Juneteenth as far as how it should be celebrated. Now, it's only been a federal holiday, I believe, for the last 3 years, and it is still a wonder to people, to a lot of people, what the hell it is to begin with. Um, Long story short is that when slaves were freed, there wasn't social media, there wasn't media at all as far as news, TV, or anything like that. So a lot of times, the word and messages got around via horse. People had to deliver the message, deliver the news, and uh, well over 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, there were still slaves in Galveston, Texas, that did not know that they had been free. And it took that long for the word to get around, and they were the last ones, I guess, to hear it. So this day kind of commemorates not the official ending, but the day when these particular folks were informed that they were no longer slaves. Um, how does that um, how does that tie into today? When you think about Memorial Day, it's a day where we think about the sacrifices of those that gave the ultimate sacrifice in the military. When we think about Easter, people celebrate Easter. It is the purported resurrection of Jesus Christ. When we think about Christmas, we think about the birth of Jesus Christ. When we think about Columbus Day, we think about somebody that fakely discovered the U.S. Virgin Islands and called it America, and people were already there. He discovered something people were already in. But a lot of these holidays are tied to, of course, something. And I've heard right wingers say, well, what do you need a Emancipation Day for? Because we already have Independence Day, where America celebrates the independence from England. And that's what July 4th is for. So what is the relation to um, Juneteenth? Because it only represents a certain folk that were emancipated. It's not as if the entire country was emancipated. Um, so how are we going to look at Juneteenth going forward in a way where It's not just a day that you get off and you get paid, but over the years, what should it be? What should it become from the standpoint of its place as it's a federally recognized holiday? I want it to mean something, but I struggle right now in how it should be seen. Yes, we know the history of it, but what does it actually mean? How does it place as far as other holidays? Other holidays. I'll give you a perfect example, Lori, and then I'm gonna turn it to you. You think about Christmas, you think about Easter. Hell, you even think about Halloween. You know what those have in common other than being holidays? Three of some of the biggest shopping days um, in the year outside of Mother's Day, um, which is not a federally recognized holiday, which I'm sure there's plenty of women out there that's like it should be after what they had to go through giving birth. But those days are also attached to commerce, economy producing. I don't know of anybody that sat there and said we're going to go shopping because it's Juneteenth. I ain't seen no car uh, dealerships having a Juneteenth sale, like they have a Columbus Day sale. I ain't seen no mattress companies having no deals on furniture and mattresses uh, because it's Juneteenth. So ultimately, Lori, how is Juneteenth supposed to be looked at? Is there going to be some type of uh, commerce connected to it? Do you see it developing into something bigger than what it kind of is now? And I get it. Like I said, it's only been a federal holiday for 3 years, and for a lot of people, that was kind of when they even first even knew what it was, or had a little bit of understanding of what it was. So you just take it away and tell me what you think about that.
Well, I think the recognition of Juneteenth is actually, and again, the contributions of the enslaved Americans who gave up their lives and for added commerce to this country. That's what I feel that Juneteenth should be. And Juneteenth, and then also thinking about it, no, it is not a commercial holiday where we're going to sit here and to go shopping, but I also relate it to the recognition of Juneteenth, just like they do for Kwanzaa. And as I said, and recognizing the seven principles during those period of understanding and everything. That is something that we as a people, as Black people, African Americans, however you want to sit there and to go, that is what we need to sit here and to recognize with Juneteenth. Now, yes, it took forever for it to get down to those last individuals that were located in Galveston, Texas. But however, it still needs to be recognized that it took that long after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation for the word to get known that they were free. And it needs to be recognized, as we've always said in previous shows, that as American history is racist. And then they have the deep rooted things back down into being in more with dealing with the racist. So Juneteenth does need to be celebrated, and also in its celebration giving more a little bit more knowledge about what it really means of that particular of this particular holiday.
Should it?
And
I was
I'm
going to ask you,
sorry.
but should it be a federal holiday? Because and the reason I asked that, and it's not that I'm against it, but when you brought up Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa's not a federal holiday. When you
No,
bring
it's
when you
not.
bring up Yom Kippur, it's not a federal holiday. It's a holiday, and it's for those that, like you said about and with Kwanzaa, the different principles and whatnot. Yes, if I celebrate Kwanzaa, I'm going to celebrate that. If it's the holy month of Ramadan, and I'm a Muslim and I'm fasting during the day and praying and things like that, I celebrate Ramadan. And none of those are a federal holiday. My question is, Had George Floyd not been killed, would today be a holiday?
I don't think, that's a really good question because the way that things are in this particular country and with the murder of George Floyd and with the highlight of with it being uh, where you actually had it where it was visual to people on what happened. I don't think if it didn't happen, if George Floyd didn't happen, do I think we would have this as a federal holiday? I don't think so. But however, even with it still being where it still needs to be a holiday that needs to be recognized for all of the contributions that people of color have contributed to this country. Therefore, if this is the small step, or however it's being that there is a holiday to recognize it. Yes, it is not a religious holiday or anything else, but however, it did affect a large number of individuals that actually died, were hunted down, and everything during that period of slavery. So, yes, I feel that it still needs to be added as a federal holiday.
The Tulsa massacre happened too, and it's not a holiday.
It is not. It is not. But we, as I think in this country, they are still having their, I guess
I,
Juneteenth
I,
is
I,
one
I
of the
just, I
baby
just
steps.
the reason that I ask it that way isn't because I'm against it being a federal holiday. It's that I
Not.
don't want. And before I go any further, hey Virgil, I know you're not a troll. I appreciate you. And thank you for the comment about my voice. And also Anthony says nobody has a Father Day sale, but IHOP. Nobody cares about us, Brian. That's kind of true, Anthony. I did see a meme a couple of times talking about fathers eat free at Chick-fil-A on Father's Day because it was just a reference to the fact that Chick-fil-A's are closed on Sundays. Um, but but I saw that a couple of times. But no, you're right. And there was some stat that came out a couple of days ago when they looked at the spending on Mother's Day 2024 versus Father's Day of 2024, because this year's stats aren't out yet, but it was almost double. It was like 25 billion, I want to say, or million that was spent on Mother's Day, and Father's Day was like half of that. Um, and
Yes, and I think Father's Day is ranking in the holidays or something. I
like
think it was
Halloween,
like the 20th.
Halloween beats Father's Day.
Yes, Halloween beats Father's Day, Columbus Day, like all the other days. That's what they said.
A damn shame.
But in the Parker household, you were recognized and loved for you being a father
That ain't
and a
gonna get
dad and a
that.
husband.
That ain't gonna get you, Jack. and,
I didn't say it was going to get me anything. I'm
and,
just telling
and
you.
but overall, Lori, the numbers don't lie, and we could have a whole nother show about why fathers. And then I saw one about better not hear anything this year from mothers about they want people to wish them a happy Father's Day. Thankfully, I haven't heard that foolishness in a little while. But I know that sentiment. I think, and I don't think the sentiment went away. I think people just knowing that folks gonna probably come out fly on them if they say it has probably just kept some of these mothers out here from posting on social media so that they don't get destroyed. Because I can only imagine if you post that foolishness on social media, they gonna hand that ass to you. And Virgil said, may I respectfully ask you a question? Absolutely, Virgil. We do this show with you guys. So anytime you guys have a question or comment, we definitely try to get around to reading it. And if you have a question, we'll answer it the best way that we can. But Lori, what I was saying was is that, I just don't want the right to take Juneteenth, as they do with a lot of things, rebrand it and turn it into some type of woke holiday. From the standpoint that um, the only reason that Juneteenth as a federal holiday exists is because of white guilt and what happened to George Floyd, because it was the same year. If you think about it, George was killed Memorial Day weekend. And then when you think about Juneteenth, I don't think it became a federal holiday until the following year, but there was talk about it um, that same year, while the um, embers were still burning, so to speak, while things were still hot. Because if you think about it, George Floyd got killed Memorial Day weekend. 2.5 weeks later, it was Juneteenth, as it always has been, when it was just a day of observation. The following year is when it officially became a federally recognized holiday. So it went from being a day of observance, du- um, right after George Floyd was killed. It was already that way for years, but then it took on a bigger stage the following year. Um, and my fear is that if we don't define Juneteenth on the federal level, then it's going to create a void of space for people to come in and just call it some woke holiday. Like we gave it to them because of Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin, I don't want Derek Chauvin to be responsible for Juneteenth being a federal holiday. It's something to think about. But that's kind of been my
Absolutely.
um, and I think we need to, over the years, sooner than later, really come up with a way to really look at what Juneteenth was and how we tie that into the things that we do today. And how do we educate, inform, and inspire? I wanted to get another I in there. Well, educate's not I wanted to get but folks that are not directly tied to Juneteenth, meaning non-black people, non people that are from African descendants, because not all black people are from African descendants. So even though some people are black, they're not tied to Juneteenth because they weren't here from slaves. Um, but those that do have that connection to Juneteenth, even those that don't have that connection to Juneteenth, what does it mean for you? Like, are people going to have cookouts on Juneteenth like they do on July the 4th? Or is July 4th still going to be the day recognized as Independence Day? And that's the day that people have cookouts and fireworks and stuff like that. Are we doing fireworks? What's going on with Juneteenth? So,
Well,
something to think about with that.
yes, it is something to think about, but I think that July 4th and Independence Day now in its current form is far from what the recognition of the independence from England and everything else. Now it's been totally commercialized and cookouts of this and anything else. But I also feel like that even with that being said, as with the beginnings of Juneteenth and even some of these other cultural days of observance, we just need to sit here and again, just like you said, do onto a better definition. That means to having additional resources that unfortunately this current administration is trying to take away. But again, having more books, more teachers, historians talking about the things that happened during that period up to Juneteenth, when after the Civil War and after the Emancipation Proclamation. That's what we need more of, so that it won't just be a woke holiday because of the actions of a man who literally killed someone. But that's just my opinion.
No, totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. Um, Switching gears, there was a parade in Washington D.C. over the weekend. Not sure if you live streamed the parade, Lori. If you watched the parade in DC.
Oh, I heard the squeaking of the wheels, the squeaking of the tank wheels. Obviously they needed some WD-40 as they were rolling by.
Well, maybe, but
Sort of.
tanks normally do that anyway. So, um,
Yeah, but it just seems a little less, I guess, within other gatherings that we've had, whether it been July 4th or some other holiday where we've had thousands and thousands of people. You don't really hear it as much because people are cheering, but there was a gathering in Washington D.C. to commemorate the 250th year anniversary of the Army, correct?
yep. And here, so before I get into the no kings part of it, it was a failure. And it was a failure because, this is something that Trump really wanted to do his first term. And it was because he fell in love with the idea of seeing the military march down the streets with the tanks and the jets flying over really low, really fast, um, and showing a sign of strength. He saw military parade for Bastille Day, and he was like, "Man, that would be really cool if we could do that." And then he sees like North Korea, Kim Jong Un, having these parades and things like that, and the army's walking tight, and they turn to him while he's standing there, and they salute him and stuff like that. Um, that Vladimir Putin does that in Russia. A lot of other dictators do it around the world, and he wanted to be celebrated. Anytime Donald Trump wants something to be done, he is supposed to be the center of attention of it. He's not doing it because of the military. And the reason I know that is because when he wanted to do it in his last term, it had nothing to do with 250-year anniversary of the military. He had already showed his hands that he wanted to do it the first time. And a lot of folks in the military said, "Sir, that is just not appropriate." Military folks do not like parades anyway. They don't want to be in the damn parade. None of them people look like they wanted to be there outside, especially a lot of his cabinet members. When they caught shots of him, they looked bored. I would have been bored. The military, and I love, here's the thing. Two things can be true at the same time. Okay. I hate the way Republicans try to cast you as one thing if you're against something. If you're against the parade, you're against the military. That's bullshit. But they'll say it. It ain't true, but they'll say it. They'll say, and there's plenty of examples of them doing that. And I got a perfect one when we get into the conversation about Israel and Iran. But they'll say, well, if you're against him wanting to do a military to parade to honor our troops, then you must be. Hey, Tawny Kilgo, how you doing? Um, just popped up on Facebook. If you are against the military parade, you're against our military. You're not a patriot. Get out of this country. Whatever. People are not against the military, and here's the thing: they know that. They use that as political talk and rhetoric. Hello, cousins. Um, they know that it's bullshit when they say it, but they say it anyway because they feel like it's a way of attacking. It's an attack method. It's like when you're in an argument with your spouse and they say stuff to you that they know gonna make you mad, even if they don't really mean it. Like I might be in a conversation with Lori. Lori sit there and get me mad, and I say, "Well, that's why you don't never do nothing for me." Knowing it ain't true, but knowing that would make her mad. That's why they do stuff like that, I believe. But anywho's, um, trying to think where I was going with that. So anyway, it was terrible. He wanted millions and millions of people to show up, And they even tried to say that over 250,000 people showed up when you could easily look into the stands and the bleachers and everything else, Lori, and tell that there were at best 20,000 people. And, the reason that that becomes an important thing is because the orange man makes crowd numbers an important thing when he talks about his rallies, when he talks about his speeches, when he talks about anything that has to do with him. He always inflates the numbers. When he talks about his buildings, it could be a 12-story building, it'll be 23 stories. um Everything is always inflated with him, and he really couldn't get away from that. Brad Marsico, what's up, Brad? Congratulations on the new gig. But so the numbers are always inflated. But the military parade was not about the military. How do I know that? Because apparently Trump um complained about the tone. What's going on, man? Um but anywho's, so he wanted it to be bigger. It wasn't as big. He complained about the tone. When I saw the soldiers marching, Lori, they didn't look tight at all when they were marching. I don't know how this thing was coordinated. At one point, you heard the advertisement that um, I think it was either Coinbase or one of the cryptocurrencies had sponsored part of the event and things like that. It was just totally different. Um, I will give Donald Trump credit, Lori. He said he would unite the people, and he did. He united them.
Just not the way he wanted.
Just not the way he wanted, but he
Yeah.
united the people against his ass. Because what we have understood is that the U.S. military is the most lethal force in the world, no question. We do have the best troops. We do have the best military. I can say that, but we don't flaunt our equipment on the streets of Washington D.C. or any other place. We don't do military parades because it is too reminiscent of what third world countries do, what authoritarian countries do. Okay. We don't do that. We are not North Korea. We are not Russia. You know, we are not Venezuela. We don't do those things because we don't need to. So what a lot of people have recognized is that this was never about the military. It was always about him. If he can do something and put it under one guy's, but it's really still all about him. It's the same reason he does his press conferences, because he loves the fact that you have to address him as Mr. President. He's there for it. He loves the fact that the cameras are on from his days of being a reality TV person. I'm not even gonna call him a star. He was a reality TV person. And the cameras being all on him, and he's the center of the attention. Um, how do I know? Because he's more concerned about them being there than the crazy stuff that comes out of his mouth, which most of the time is either incoherent or word salad at best. And then he just tries to call it the weave. And he still weaves even in front of people, says a lot without saying anything at all. However, as I alluded to, his 20,000 person crowd had nothing on the No Kings protest this past weekend, where estimates, Lori, have been well over 5 million. Um, there were over 2,100 protests in various cities all over the country, even in places that you think would not have had protests. Towns in Iowa, Idaho had protests. And what were they protesting? We wanted to protest no kings. And the message being is that this country was built on being a democracy. Had the United States intended on having a king, July 4th would not be a recognized holiday. You defeat the whole purpose of July 4th if you embrace a monarch. Both cannot be true. If we want a monarch, July 4th has to go away. There is no Star Spangled Banner. For what? But if you believe in the Star Spangled Banner, you believe in that flag, then you can't have a king because then he shits on the flag. Because the flag represents no kings. It's the United States of America, not a commonwealth of the United Kingdom. It can only be one or the other. So I know the Trumpers out there are going to sit there and act like, well, Brian, it ain't that deep. It was just really about the military. It's not. It really wasn't. He gives you cover to say that, and you can say that, and if that keeps you sleeping at night, then that's okay. But obviously, there were 5 million people that walked, and there were millions of other people that either could not walk or weren't able to go out there and do it that do not believe that bullcrap. So I did want to address the fact that there was a rally. It was very peaceful overall. And there were people out there letting Donald Trump know that we will not go quietly into the night and take you on as a king. You and to also kind of remind him, Lori, you got 18 months. I mean, you down to 3.5 years, bro. 6 months down, 3.5 to go.
Hey, Brian, I have a question. So, do you think with all of the No Kings protests that have been going around the country, there were also some countries around the world who recognized or for this way on the No Kings protests that we had. Do you feel like these protests or the continued protesting of these of us is a wake-up call to so-called Republicans, these MAGA people, that are just power hungry and trying to grab at anything?
No, you know, Republicans remind me of cowboy fans. This is a very loose analogy, but work with me on this. You know how delusional cowboy fans are. Whether their team looks good or not, they always go into the season with the belief of what? This is our
They
year.
are going to this is their year and they're going to the Super Bowl.
Mhm. Now, even when the evidence doesn't support that, they still believe it. Even when it's November and the reality is it ain't going to happen. Do they abandon ship? Do they leave their team? Some of them act like they will, but do they ever really do it? No. Some of them may take a little bit of a break, but they come back next year by March. Right after I saw him, Lori. I saw him right after the Eagles just finished beating Kansas City's ass. Just finished. I mean, they ain't had time to damn near hoist the Lombardi. And Cowboy fans are already going, that's all right. Next year is our year. It's been 30 years. 30. And every year they say the same shit. You know this is gonna be our year. You just look at them like, really?
Well,
and, and, and you almost have to just say, you know what? Bless their heart. Now, I'm gonna give you another part of the analogy, and I'll give it to you. But there may be like some casual fans that can somewhat understand and see. I'm talking about when I said that before, it was the DC for L, diehard Cowboy fan. But there's some of those fringe people that ain't all that deeply rooted into them. They just kind of root for them for one reason or another. Maybe they like their uniforms, they like the stadium, those kind of things. They like a particular player that they think is cool, so they kind of loosely follow them, right? And you're more able to pick them off into reality and Earth One than you ever would be with those diehards that all they can see is something that they haven't seen in 30 years. If you think you can see something that you ain't seen in 30 years and you think you still looking at it, something wrong with you, right? So there are some of those Cowboy fans, yeah, you can pick them off because they weren't as deeply rooted into that cult to begin with. Well, Brian, what does that have to do with Republicans? Well, there are certain people that supported Trump, but they weren't all in MAGA. You may have some independents that bounce one way or another that may have liked certain things that he talked about, but kind of still, when they went to vote, held their nose and voted for him. Now, there's a lot of MAGA people, they ain't hold their nose at all. Because they nose all in. They sniffing it and everything. You know what I'm saying? They that's how they live. But there were some other people that said, I don't like the fact that he's so boisterous. I don't like the fact that he lies. I don't like the fact that he does fraudulent stuff. But I do like some of the policies that he's talking about. Or I think he's really going to help me with tax breaks. I think he's really going to help me with the cost of things going down and those types of things. So even though I don't like him as a person, I think he's going to help me financially better than anybody that the Democrats have put across. Do I think he can turn those people off? Yeah, because they were being as transactional as he is. I'm only looking at him from the standpoint of how he can benefit me in my life. The hell if he wants to sit there and mess up Venezuelans and Mexicans and Cubans and everybody else. As long as he's doing what I need him to do, the hell with them. And there's a lot of people out there that's like, oh yeah. Now I don't even know if I want them in our coalition because they're like mercenaries. One minute they pointing the trigger at people that you don't like, pointing the gun at people you don't like. The next minute they turn it around and point the gun at you. So I don't know about that either. But I do know that when you talk about who you can kind of pick off from that, it's not going to be those deeply rooted MAGA people because it is a team that they root for, even and all they can see is their team being the best, and their team is out there to dominate your team. I'm never going to join your team. It reminds me of the NBA back in the day where you would never see Michael Jordan go play with Magic Johnson. Hey, Magic, let's team up on the Lakers. No. Or you would see Michael go team up with the Pistons or the Knicks. You would never see that. Now, in today's NBA, Kevin Durant want to play with everybody. He'll go to Phoenix, he'll go to Golden State, he'll go to Brooklyn. All he care about is championships. Hey, I don't care. I'll team up with you. And that just never happened in the old days. And that's kind of like how these parties are. It's almost I'm with them till I die. And that's unfortunate. So Democrats need to really be focused on Democrats and independents. Will you be able to pull that occasional Republican away? Yeah. There were some that finally let go of the party after January the 6th. But they also went through Charlottesville and they hung with him. They also went through him calling countries shithole countries. They also went through him calling our military suckers and losers. And now They think he wants to celebrate the military. They also went through him talking crap about Gold Star families. They also went with him mocking um, uh, uh, disabled journalists. They went through with him with a lot of stuff and let January 6th be the breaking point. So if one thing they can withstand a lot, I'll give them that. So a lot of them really what my point to that is that they went with him through a lot of that, Lori, and they stuck with him. Now, whatever the breaking point for them was, okay, it did, but they didn't give up on him even after he did some crazy stuff. When the Access Hollywood tapes came out and he started talking about grabbing pussies, that could have that should have done him in. That should have done him in. We've seen U.S. senators get put out of the Senate for less. Where's Al Franken? I'll wait. Where's
Somewhere in Minnesota.
where's what's his name? Specter or whatever his name was? Um, where's he? Where's Cuomo? He running for mayor, but what happened to him? You know, there's people that didn't not caught on tape talking about grabbing. Now whether they grabbed them or not is another thing, but they ain't on no tape talking about that. That would have sank anybody else's presidential election. Coming down an escalator, calling a certain bunch of people rapists, murderers, criminals would sink anybody else. Hell, remember when you had Howard, what's his name, that was running for president, did that primal Yale, and that sank his presidential. Howard, what's his name? You remember governor? He was Howard. It'll come back to me. And he was running for president, and he was like, "And we're gonna go to the West Coast, and we're gonna go here." And then the crowd was going up, and he just went, "Ah!" He was done after that, just because he did that. Done. You think about John Kerry getting swift boated. Done. Trump, yeah, I grab pussies. And still became president. Not once, twice.
Twice.
And he got convicted of 34 counts and still won the election. They don't care if he's a felon. Dude had mugshots. Dude has been convicted of fraud. His companies have been convicted of fraud. His charity had to shut down because it was fraudulent. And they still followed him. Bought gold fake sneakers, bought fake watches, bought all this stuff, bought Bibles with the Constitution. Are those the people you talking about gonna fall off?
No, not
No.
necessarily, but I think with the protests that they've had, even the current,
Yeah.
and again, as sad as it may be, the current climate of violence that actually occurred in Minnesota, um, is just astounding. And then also, these are the same people that go on Facebook or something crying the blues that they lost their jobs because of DE and I. They now they have no housing and this and everything else, because again, you voted because this is actually, you thought that this would never come your way, but now it is. And I'm thinking now, as I said, with the protests that they had for No Kings and everything else, that maybe for those that are either going to be coming up for reelection, it's kind of, it's a little scary, because how can you, even though there will be those people that just vote the party line and I just do whatever we need to do, but it's still like, you really need to come up and come, they're not even having town halls because they can't justify what they're doing with his policies, with the way that they have, with things are going. So I think it's a small wake up call. Is it going to be massive? No. But I think that a lot of people are now getting really annoyed and fed up, and are really starting to now speak their mind, which was sad that we would have needed this when we had the election for all these people that came out, but they didn't want to do that for Kamala Harris. So
I don't
that's
know.
why we have the orange fool. But I don't know.
Tony said they chalk it up to him being a man's man, referring to grabbing vaginas and stuff like that. Virgil, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm gonna get to your question right after this. I'm gonna put a button on this. But no, do I think that it's going to he going to lose any supporters because of the liberals? No, because you know what? And I'm gonna tell you the other reason. Republicans live in a different ecosphere, and so do their supporters. You are not going to get Fox News or any right wing news to cover the No Kings rally the way that it should be. Meaning, what they will say is something to the effect of all these people were paid protesters that came out to the streets. They are anti-American because they are against the military. All Trump wanted to do was have a day to be able to celebrate the military. And these protesters are so anti-American that they came out because they hate this country. They'll hear that and be like, okay. And they'll keep going. That's it. That's it. You're not gonna convince them of that. These people will vote in their own against their own self-interest
Mm.
and still ride with him. Which party? Oh, I'm sorry. Which party talked about increasing child family tax credits? I'll wait. Which party talked about increasing the federal minimum wage? I'll wait. Which party talked about uh,
You just
tax
got
credit?
frozen.
Oh, did I?
There we go. There
Which
you go. Let's see.
party talked about tax credits for homeowners, business development, infrastructure, paid family leave? I'll wait. It wasn't the Republican Party. What do Republicans always talk about when they get into power? Tax cuts. Tax cuts that don't affect most people in this country. The party that now and listen, y'all, listen to me clearly. I am not a shill for the Democratic Party. They got some fucked up things that they look at too. And I could go in, and if you want to know what those are, I'll be more than happy to tell you. But when I'm sitting here looking at which party is actually advocating more for working everyday people, it ain't even close. Are they perfect? No. But when you lay down next to that person tonight, I guarantee you they ain't perfect either. Even if it's not a real person and it's an inflatable one, they ain't perfect either. Even the ones that got a couple of D batteries in them ain't perfect neither. But you got to go with the better hand. But these folks will look at that hand, and because it has a D on it, will vote the other way against their own self-interest. Absolutely, positively the definition of a cult. Tawny says top donors are still reaping the benefits of him being in office. Absolutely. Look at his cabinet. Millionaires and billionaires on his cabinet. Scott Bessent, billionaire. Linda McMahon, billionaire. Howard Lutnick, millionaire. You start going down. Who's got these jobs? Dr. Oz, Robert F. Kennedy. Well-to-do people. Are these people that identify with the everyday working person? No. Who is he taking care of? Donors. Who did he let in his office with his little son talking shit to him? Elon Musk. Notice something there? Tony also
Yes.
said, Tony also said he will have become such a pariah. They will need to separate themselves. The Democrats need to step up. Clutches pearls, very true though. But and it's sad, and you're right. The Democrats do need to step up, but the Democrats need to relook at things. Number one, they need to clean their own house. When you look at the Democratic side of Congress, whether it's the Senate or the House of Representatives, look at the diversity. Then look on the Republican side at the diversity. I ain't gonna say you ain't gonna find a sprinkle of black folks, but look at it. Compare the two. It ain't even close, y'all. It is not representative of this country. They represent the country, though, that they're more comfortable with. See, sometimes, and I tell people this all the time, it ain't always what you say, it's what you ain't saying that sometimes speaks even louder. So I'll go there. Now, Virgil had a question a while back, and I wanted to
Yes, he
address it.
did.
And Virgil's question was, because we were talking about Juneteenth, and my question was, would Juneteenth have existed had George Floyd not been murdered? Now, to me, it's one of them questions that's not really a question. Because in my mind, I do believe that it would have been a day of observance for African Americans, but it never would have been given status of a federal holiday. Do you know how long they fought Martin Luther King being a damn holiday?
Oh, that's and he removed the bust from the White House.
Do you know how long it took to get Martin Luther King a federal holiday? You know what the difference was? There wasn't some brave girl that caught that on an iPhone. George Floyd's last 11 minutes or 9 minutes, where he begged for his dead mother, where he said, I can't breathe, was caught for the whole world to see. The things that black folks tell white people have been happening for decades. They could not deny the inhumanity because it was right in front of their face. And that prompted worldwide outrage. You think the No Kings rally was something crazy? Oh, it was a No Kings rally all over the world where they protested this. So Virgil's question was, do you think the murder of Floyd was racially motivated or the actions of a psycho cop who would have done that to anyone who he couldn't control? Virgil, the history of the United States of America is built on racism. This country exists because of racism. When you think about Americans, folks coming to this country in the very beginning and running away Native Americans off their land, massacres, scalpings. When you think about the enslavement of black people as property, not even looked at as a person. When you look at Jim Crow laws, when you look at redlining, when you look at all these things throughout the years, was it racially motivated? Yes. Was he a psycho cop? Yes. He was that too. Would he have done that to a white person? Who knows? But he definitely felt okay doing it to a black person. Why did he do that for so long? Virgil, there's a lot of folks out there that when they see a black person, they see somebody that somehow or another is superhuman. That you have to treat like an animal to subdue them. That you cannot just subdue them like a regular person because the minute that you let up just a little bit, like an animal, they may turn on you. And then you're going to die. It is a built up fear from white people a lot of times that black people will do to them what they did to us. At some point, they think we're going to snap and get them back for what the enslavement that they did to our ancestors. It's called white guilt. They don't know how to categorize it because they don't even want to act like it ever happened. You can't deal with your hurt and pains in relationships until you at least acknowledge that some fucked up stuff happened in the relationship. That's the only way that you can move forward is when you accept what happened in the past. Hopefully, so that you don't repeat it. But there's too many folks out there that gloss over those things, just hoping that if they don't address it and act like it happened, it won't ever happen again. Was George Floyd killed because he was black? Yes. How do I know? Because even though Derek Chauvin knew he was being filmed, he knew it. He knew it. Didn't give two fucks. Didn't let up at all. Even when the man begged like a dog on the ground. Had no opportunity to fight back. Wasn't fighting back. Did he let up off of him at all? Did any of his humanity come out to say, this is a man? Did he? They do what they always do. They look at us like we are fucking animals. He didn't think he was killing a black man. He thought he was taking a dog down. The problem is when you take a dog down, you do it with more humanity than that. You wouldn't sit there with your knee on his neck, smiling and smirking the whole time. Did he kill him because it was racially motivated? Yes, 100%. Absolutely. Sorry. But yeah, I just wanted to make that clear. Hopefully I did. Virgil also, thank you, brother. And I'm watching you and lovely Lori. I don't know if she's lovely, but yeah, she's all right. Anyway, I'm just messing, Lori. You ain't gotta look like that. Saying, yeah, all right. Here in Manchester, England, I detest the idea of a monarchy. Trump is a narcissist personality disorder. It's very obvious that Netanyahu and Putin have compromise on Trump gathered by Mossad spy Jeffrey Epstein. So now they pull the strings. That is why Melania hates him. They tend to abuse others. I agree to a point, but Virgil, I'm going to say this. I don't know for a fact if Putin and Netanyahu have any compromise on Trump. I just think his ideals, his ideology, and I use that term loosely because I don't really think he has an ideology, but he has a fetish for authoritarians. He has a fetish for strong people. He's all, and how do I know that? He always likes to present himself as a strong person. He hates weakness. I was even told for this military parade, they didn't want any fat soldiers marching. When he goes to commemorations and things like that, and the military's around, he really detests folks that have been in wars where they've lost limbs, where they're in wheelchairs. It doesn't look strong. That's why he thinks that our war dead are suckers and losers because they lost their life. How do I know that he really believes that? He called John McCain, he wasn't a war hero because he got caught. And that's a weakness. You got caught. He could have respected him more had he flown all those missions and came back, but he got caught. And now that diminishes him from being a war hero. He likes strength. That's why him and Kim Jong Un wrote love letters, because he sees him as a strong person. He brags about Viktor Orban's. He brags about Kim Jong Un, Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping. He talks about Xi Jinping in China running his country with an iron fist. He thinks this country should be run with his iron fist, as small as his hands may be. He thinks they should be iron. So whether or not they really have compromise on him, he looks up to them, because when people around those folks talk, everybody has to stand up and listen. He was selling at the military parade. He got caught on a hot mic. And he says, those other military parades, he says, man, when they have those parades, everybody's sitting up straight. He says, I want my people to do that. He loves that. He likes to be filleted. That's how you know the parade was about him. He wanted to feel that same gratification that those other dictators feel. This is why he can't stand the United Union. I mean, the European Union, the United Nations. He thinks they're a bunch of pansies. They're not strong enough. He hates weakness or the appearance of weakness. That's why he fights all the time. That's why he's the most litigious person in the world. He fights because he thinks it's a sign of strength. Melania doesn't really hate him. I don't feel sorry for Melania at all, because she knows what a piece of shit he is, and she sticks with it anyway.
Because she
Um,
knows where her bread is buttered.
she would get that money anyway. She has a prenup. I mean, she has an agreement with
Right.
him. She's renewed so many times and things like that. She'd be
But
okay. But
she knows the devil she knows the devil that she's in bed with.
well, yeah,
So I
loosely,
don't feel bad for her.
loosely speaking, because I'm sure they've not shared a bed and God knows when. But anyway,
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, you know,
yeah,
she knows that devil.
she does. She does. Um, but yeah, he is a narcissist. But the thing to remember about Trump is, and the thing that makes him dangerous is, he has no ideology. And what I mean by that is, when you think about conservatives, Republicans, folks like that, the ideology before Trump was fiscal responsibility, strong military, closed borders, uh, low taxes, um, all those types of things. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, trickle down economics, etc. He told Marjorie Taylor Greene that MAGA is whatever I say it is. Just the other day. Marjorie Taylor Greene said MAGA is supposed to be America first. It's supposed to be this, it's supposed to be that. Donald Trump said, I am MAGA. Those were his words. He said, I am MAGA. It is what I say it is. That ain't even authoritarian. That's a cult leader saying, hold my beer. This is mine. That's some crazy stuff. And it's funny because when Donald Trump says stuff like that, nobody questions whether he's cognitive decline. Joe Biden, he's asleep, he's out of it. He doesn't even know where he is. Yada, 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 yada. Okay. Well, somebody just turned 79 years old, and I would contend with you, he ain't that far off from Joe Biden either. Never was. But people still, Lori, will hitch their wagons to something even when it's not even in their own best interest. How do I know that? U.S. House of Republicans sat there and pushed their big, beautiful bill something that he called it because he says he has the best words. I've yet to hear any of them. The big beautiful bill sounds like something that a third grader, no offense to third graders, would have come up with. And then to watch them actually say it. Oh man, we're going to pass the watch his propagandists at the press conferences say this with a straight face is humiliating, ridiculous, fantastical, and hilarious all at the same time. But this big beautiful bill, you know, the big beautiful bill is like taking a new medicine or a new drug that's out there and you see the commercials for it. And what do? They make the drug sound really, really good. You see people smiling, got flowers and lilies and shit. Everybody just happy and floating on air. And at the very end of the commercial, what do? They tell you all the damn side effects. Filled with pork. It is, honey. But they'll tell you how great it is. And then at the end of the infomercial, they'll start telling you all these bad things that can happen once you take this drug. Stomach cramps, diarrhea,
Hair
depression,
loss.
hair loss. They start telling you all these bad things and you start going, well, damn, is it worth taking it? Sound like some really crazy stuff could happen if I take it. That's the big beautiful bill. Now they put it out there like all these great things are going to happen. But the one thing that they don't tell you is all of the side effects. Up to 14 million Americans will lose their health care. There's going to be a reduction in food assistance. SNAP benefits will be cut, which helps families eat.
Housing.
Housing, all kinds of programs.
Rental assistance.
And normally when somebody comes to you and says, hey, we could do this, but this is going to be the cost. And then you have to kind of weigh out, is the juice worth the squeeze? Am I going to get more out of it than what I have to put into it? Obviously, 14 million people not having health care isn't a deterrent. Kids going hungry is not enough of a deterrent. Republicans, come closer. I got a secret to tell you. These are white people. More white people are on Medicaid. More white people get SNAP. But I bet you're going to vote for that orange bastard anyway. I bet you will. I know you will. Because you might not be able to feed your kids. You might not be able to get your health care. But man, them damn illegals ain't going to get it either, huh? No, you can't pull them away. Because anybody that will vote against their own self-interest for this orange clown is already gone. I think the Cowboys will win before they let go. That's the truth. Let me tell you something else about Medicare, Lori. People don't understand. Republicans think that you're stupid. They talk to their folks like they're stupid. This is what they tell them, Lori. See, Democrats are flamethrowers. They're being hyperbolic. Nobody that should be on Medicare will lose Medicare. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, those 14 million people shouldn't have been on Medicare in the first place. Well, why is that? Well, they come up with two reasons. Now, they don't give you no numbers to back up any of this, but this is what they say. Either there are people on Medicare that are able-bodied workers just sitting around doing nothing, and they shouldn't be getting Medicare? First of all, the access to health care is a right. It's not a privilege. We shouldn't say if you qualify through our criteria, we'll give you health care. Republicans believe that you need to show us that you deserve health care. That's a hell of a way of looking at something. You got to show me you deserve it. I don't think you should just have it. You got to show me that you deserve it. And if you can't show me that you deserve it, well, you can't have it. So then what do? Die? If that's what happens, Joni Ernst said we all gonna die anyway. To which I would say to you, Joni, if you're listening, you first, bitch. If you feel that way, you go ahead. I'll wait. But anyway, I'm on one tonight.
On 4.
Yeah, I'm on one. It's Juneteenth, damn it. But anyway, that is their view of Medicare. Now, the other thing that they will say, Lori, is there are millions of illegal immigrants. This is what they love to always go back to. There's millions of illegal people that are receiving Medicare, and once we weed all of them out, well, that makes up your 14 million. Now, here's the thing. Aside from the illegal people that they suppose are getting Medicare, which they have no proof of how many that is, if any, people that go to work, the reason that they have Medicare is because they still can't afford employer-sponsored health care at their jobs. You know why? Because y'all don't believe, and I mean Republicans, in livable wages. The mom of 4 that has 2 jobs is on Medicare because the combination of both of those jobs still doesn't give her a livable wage. She can't afford her job's health care plans. Being on Medicare doesn't mean that you're just sitting around the house playing video games in your drawers in your mama's basement. There is a reason for that. Here's another thing, Lori. Again, Republicans, come closer. I got something to tell you. Medicare is the biggest revenue producer for rural hospitals. What do you mean, Brian? Rural hospitals are in red states a lot of times. Very rural, not in big cities. You know, those sanctuary cities y'all talk about. Medicaid and Medicare are big revenue producers in rural hospitals and medical centers. Well, since we ain't but 13% of the damn population, who uses mostly rural facilities? White people. If you cut down Medicare and Medicaid, a lot of these places will have to close. So you may have a healthcare plan, but if the facility ain't open, what difference does that make? If you still got to travel 50, 60, 70 miles to get routine mammograms, colonoscopies, any medical service, you're pregnant, prenatal care. What difference does it make if you got insurance if your rural hospital just closed because they slashed Medicaid? But you'll vote for that orange motherfucker anyway, won't you? Won't you? You'll do it, won't you? I know you will. You ain't gonna let me down. You'll still do it anyway. Voting against your own self-interest. That ain't owning the libs. That's just showing that you're a dumb motherfucker. Period. You ain't owning nobody. You just showing how stupid you are. Because Fox News didn't tell you that. Breitbart didn't tell you that. Steve Bannon, he actually kind of trying to tell you that. And please, God, I might have to take another shower after this. I hate giving Steve Bannon any credit. I hate giving Josh Hawley any credit. I hate giving Rand Paul any credit. But they're trying to tell you. You even got some fools in Congress that looks at what that bill will do, Lori. And you know what they saying? It ain't going far enough. There's a false equivalence out here too that they're telling you. Well, the Democrats don't want to pass the bill, and if they don't pass the bill, everybody's taxes is gonna go up. You could just pass a tax bill for people making under $500,000 a year and let everybody else's go up. They make it sound like, well, if we're gonna do tax cuts, we gotta do it for everybody. Yeah, but everybody ain't benefiting from it. You have to make over a certain amount of money to really see the benefits of it. There was a breakdown of the allocation from the Congressional Budget Office. I don't have it in front of me, but it showed that people on the lower end of earnings either see a decrease, an increase in their taxes or a slight decrease. But once you get over a certain threshold, you're seeing upwards of up to $12,000 extra. So it's geared towards those that have more. And that makes no sense at all. So they're squeezing you on taxes. These tariffs are going to make you pay for more stuff. Interest rates are up. So buying a house that had been a dream for people, had been achievable for people, is now making people pause again and spend more money on rent. Groceries, such an old-fashioned term, the price of that hadn't come down. But you still gonna vote for him anyway, ain't you? Yeah, you will. Hell, you'll vote to put him on Mount Rushmore. Just saying. Sad, makes no sense. Before we get out of here, Lori, I found this very, very interesting that, you know, we have Sprint, now T-Mobile, in the house. And for 20 years, I've had Sprint. But, something has just not been right with them. I've been trying to figure out, man, should I leave Sprint and go to AT&T or Boost Mobile? Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's just something missing. And
What
Lori,
is missing?
I couldn't just put my finger on it, but I figured it out.
Tell us, please. The world wants to know.
Now, introducing Trump Mobile, coming soon. At plans
I know you are not going to go there
at
in
plans
that
that
foolishness.
start at $47.45.
No, thank you.
I don't know if you heard Eric Trump's great announcement about the 47-45 plan of
Yes,
Trump Mobile, 100% done in the U.S., even though it ain't being built in the U.S. right now because none of this shit is.
China
No,
somewhere.
but because they even know too. Nice segue. Thank you. I tried, Tony. But yeah, so Eric Trump has introduced that they will be putting out Trump Mobile. And again, this is what I would say to y'all that love supporting this orange buffoon. Before you get Trump Mobile, please Google Trump Water, Trump Steaks, Trump Mortgage,
Trump University.
Trump University, Trump Ties, Trump the Game. You know what? If Trump had rubbers, they would break. I'm just telling you. There's no way in the world that once Trump puts his name on, nothing sticks but his hand in your damn pocket. Everything else falls. Why do you think Trump Mobile will be any different? If you want to buy one because you want to sit there and at least be able to show somebody something in the future that's no longer there anymore, okay. But I don't get it. It's another grift. I just wanted to bring it up because it's like, you know what? All of these other things. Look, this is the same person that has bankrupt casinos where the house always wins. Do you know how hard it would be to bankrupt a casino? He's figured he has it down to a damn exact science. He's bankrupted more than one. A casino. Man, ain't no way. There's fish table arcades in Charlotte that can't go bankrupt. This dude done figured out how to bankrupt a casino. Don't make no sense. Yet, they still gonna vote for him anyway because he's a businessman. Or is he? Anyway, I'm gonna let that go. I don't have no what I don't like this week. I don't like none of the stuff I talked about. I've been on
I
one.
think you went on your tear enough to cover what I don't like.
Did I do my job?
Yes, you did. You did.
All right. Well, listen, y'all. We really do thank you for your support. Whether, again, you're watching us on the live. Oh, I didn't even see Carol Smith had popped in and Corey Mathis. But whether you catch us on the live or the replay, we do appreciate it. We do always ask you to share. Please share the cast. Whether you're on Instagram, please share it if you can. I don't know if you can do that. But if you're on Facebook Live, if you're on LinkedIn, please share that as well so that people can catch the show. And go check us out on Spotify. Again, Head to Head with Brian Parker is on Spotify now. And share that podcast as well as on YouTube. Please go over to YouTube. Find Empower TV. Like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel as we're trying to get up to 10,000 subscribers. And we will definitely be back again next week for more great conversation. We will see y'all again. Lori, take us out. Peace. Happy Juneteenth.
This a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta